What's up, guys? I am Caleb Ochoa. This is a segment of Good Friends, Better Rivals, called Betting the NFL. I'm going to give you 5 locks of the week, as I do every week. And I will also recap last week and just getting a little more in depth, talking about gambling. Well, I'm going to start off with a little disclaimer. Y'all don't have to take my picks. You can fade me. I'm just trying to give you information. Don't blame me if you lose some money. I am putting my money where my mouth is. So we're all just trying to win here. So, just don't blame me. I'm just making suggestions of who to pick. All right. First I'm going to start with recapping what happened last week. And I'm going to start with the favorites, man. They had a great week. I mean, it was the year of the underdog. And this shit just turned around quickly. And just all last week. Last week was a weird week, man. A lot of the trends just changed all of a sudden. And the biggest one was the favorites. They went 12-2 straight up and 11-3 against the spread. And also the away team started off really good right this year. In recent weeks, the home teams have been doing a lot better. They went 8-6 straight up, 7-7 against the spread. That's bucking the trend that's been going on this year. And the over and unders, man, that was also one of the biggest changes. 10-3-1 for the overs. It's been unders all year. The under's been hitting like crazy this year. Teams have not been scoring as many points. Games have not really been big scoring games. But this week, it all changed. A lot of teams were scoring a lot of points. There was a lot of non-competitive games in the early window on Sunday. And I think that's what led to a lot of these overs hitting. So, yeah. And Vegas probably didn't do very well with all those favorites winning, because usually favorites win when all those underdogs. So Vegas probably didn't doing really well this season, but not last week. They probably lost a good amount of money, because the average fans like to pick the favorites. So that definitely hit, and hopefully you win some money, but definitely I did not. I did pretty poorly last week, as I've been doing for the last few weeks. I cannot get a winning week. It's been pretty bad for me. I went 2-3. Not good at the losing record right now. It's not been going well for me. My best pick was Giants against the Chargers. I picked the Chargers -10. I've been betting against the Giants for the last 2 weeks, and that has been doing. Those are my two best picks from the last couple of weeks. Chargers easily won this game. They covered it by like 6 points. So yeah, bet against the Giants because it's been hitting. My worst pick was picking the Ravens. I didn't anticipate Mark Jackson getting hurt. Thought the Ravens, were at least going to be good enough to beat the, injured Browns. But, Browns had pretty much total control of this game. It didn't matter who was at quarterback for the Ravens. Browns pretty much had that game. So that was a pretty bad. But the bad beat of the week was on my parlays. On my parlay card, I had a 16 parlay. And the one that didn't hit was the Bills at Bucks game. The Bills could have covered in so many scenarios at the end of the game. There were so many times where they could have either just not scored and just let the game end with just a 3-point margin, because I took the Bills plus 3.5. And if they just if the Buccaneers just won the game and stopped them in regulation, that would have been good. If the Bills just win in overtime, that would have been good. The Bills had just scored a touchdown in regulation, that would have been good. So many scenarios, but the one scenario where I lose, where the Buccaneers score a touchdown to win the game in overtime, that's where I freaking lost. Unbelievable. That was definitely one of the worst beats of the year. Not just bad beat of the week. It was one of the worst beats of the year for me, because I had that parlay in the bag, and yeah, it just didn't happen for me. But the biggest upset of the week came with the Rams at Cardinals. Rams were a 3-point underdog to the Cardinals. I think a lot of people were going picking the Cardinals in this one, but they lose 30-23. And the score might look like it was just a one-score game, but it was much larger than that. Rams had full control of this game. Cardinals were trailing all throughout the whole game. But Aaron Donald, man, he just took over this game. Stopped that high-powered Cardinals offense, and yeah, they covered the spread. Not just cover the spread, they went outright. So that was the biggest upset. Biggest cover was the Chiefs versus the Raiders, where the Chiefs just blow out the Raiders 48-9, and that -10. Whoever laid the 10, won pretty big there. Chiefs played well against Raiders. And if you pick the Chiefs, you bet on the Chiefs against the Raiders, you won both times. Because in the last two matchups, they scored Raiders by 6 points. That is pretty big. So good on you if you pick the Chiefs. And I think that pretty much recaps the week. For week 14. On to week 15 now. What to look out for this week? You gotta look out for the favorites. Like I said last week, they're pretty dominant, and it's not just been last week; it's been in recent weeks where the favorites have been winning. The teams laying at least a touchdown are 11-0 against the spread over the last 2 weeks. 6 underdogs are getting more than 8 points. Favorites are 19-9 in the last 2 weeks. The underdog may have been hitting for most of the year, but it looks like the tides are changing. Looks like the trends are changing. You might want to pick a lot more favorites, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick a lot more favorites this week. 3 out of my 5 picks will be favorites because I like to follow the trends. So I'll be going with that trend and picking majority favorites. But I will start off with my 5 picks with an underdog. And that's the New England Patriots +2 at Indianapolis. The reason I'm taking the Patriots is because I just think they're a better team. Honestly, I think they should be favored in this game. They're way better than the Colts right now. They're playing way better than the Colts. And I understand John Taylor is playing really awesome. He's, one of the best. He is probably the best running back playing right now since Derrick Henry is out. But the Colts are just too prone to turnovers. And turnovers, what Belichick is great at taking advantage of. And I think that's what will happen in this game. Carson Wentz is going to make some bad decisions. Belichick is going to jump all over those, and his defense is going to show up in this game. So I got the Patriots, and if you're going to give me 2 points, I'll definitely take that. My next pick I'll be taking is my Cowboys -10 against the Giants. And this is not just because I'm a Cowboys fan. This is because I just been betting against the Giants the last couple of weeks. I'm going to bet again against them again. Why stop? Why not? Why stop now? Just keep the streak going. And in the last matchup, I mean, we were 7.5 point favorites. We beat them 44-20. I'm pretty sure we can do it again, especially when they started Mike Lennon at quarterback. The way Micah Parsons and our healthy defensive line has been playing, we just look amazing, man. We look really, really great. So I don't think that struggling Giants offense that barely scores 20 points a game will really do anything against us. And I think we cover easily, honestly. So I'll definitely lay the 10 points in that game. The Packers -4.5 at Ravens. I'll definitely take. I'll lay the points here because I don't know who's starting that quarterback for the Ravens. Even if Jackson does play, he hasn't been playing well. He's been playing pretty bad. Not all his fault. I mean, he doesn't really have much talent at the receiver position. Has no running backs, has no line. I mean, I just don't know really how they can produce a lot of offense. Mostly they do it by just chucking it to Mark Andrews. And the Packers just been rolling. I mean, they beat up on the Bears last week. Think they're gonna beat up on the Ravens this week. So I don't think 4.5 is too large of a spread. I mean, I'll be comfortable if I laid the touchdown in this one. Yeah, they scored 45 last week, and then probably they might score not much this week. So 4.5, I'll definitely a minus 4.5. I'll take it. I'll bet on the Packers in that one. My next pick, I'll take the Cardinals minus 12.5 at Detroit because the Lions are the Lions and they're awful. I mean, everybody knows they're awful, but I think this is the perfect team where the Cardinals will bounce back from their Monday night loss. Usually, when you get kind of embarrassed on national television, you want to show everybody what you're made of. You want to, bounce back that in a strong way. And I think they do that against the Lions. I mean, it really is the perfect team to do that against. So 12.5, I don't really like taking large point spreads like that, but in this one I will because, I mean, Cardinals are that good and the Lions are that bad. And yeah, the Cardinals have just been one of the better teams against the spread at 9-4. And so I'll take them. I'll lay the big hefty 12.5. And my final pick of the week, I will take the I will take the Pittsburgh Steelers plus 1.5 at home against the Tennessee Titans. Now it's a little bit of a risky pick. I don't totally trust Ben Roethlisberger in that their offense has been struggling throughout the season. But you saw in the last game, Roethlisberger has a little something left when he wants to. When he comes out and he wants to play, he can show a little something. He fought back in that Vikings game. They didn't get the win, but they did score a lot of points in that one. I still think he has a little bit left in the tank. I don't really know what to make of the Titans. They're really banged up. Their offense hasn't really scored many points. They haven't scored more than 23 since Derrick Henry was injured. So I don't think the Steelers still have a good defense, and I don't think the Titans will be able to score much on them. So I'll take the Steelers at home. I do love home underdogs, and that's why I will take in this one because I think they're most capable underdog this week. So yeah, Steelers plus 1.5. That is my 5 locks of the week. A couple other ones that I just want to mention. Didn't want to make it a lock, but I was thinking about it just for your knowledge, just for as a suggestion. I was thinking about taking Washington plus 4.5 at Philly. Couldn't really trust who was at quarterback for the Washington. That's why I didn't take it. Still might take it on my own personal bets because I don't really like the Eagles in this one. I don't think they're playing very well. And yeah, I think even though Washington lost against the Cowboys, I think that more to do with how well the Cowboys playing, how well the Cowboys played in that one, more than Washington was on a big winning streak. So I think they can bounce back, and I think they can cover the spread in that one. Another one would be the Falcons plus 7.5. Can really trust the Falcons. Matt Ryan just scored a lot of points. I didn't know if he'd be able to cover the 7.5 against the Niners on the road. That's why I didn't take it, but it's still an interesting one if you want to look at that one. And then another one. This one's the one I was debating the most with the Steelers pick was the Bengals at Broncos. I was going to take the Broncos plus 1.5. Decided not to. Because I've bet Bengals a lot, and usually I never really bet against the Bengals, and that just worked out for me about 50% of the time. But in this game, I wanted to take the Broncos because I think they're playing really well, they're playing really good defense, but Bengals still a pretty good team, and Burrow still, could go out there and throw it around a little bit, and I think the Bengals win. That's why I couldn't pick the Broncos plus 1.5. So there's that. I also thinking about the Vikings -4 at Chicago, but then I thought Vikings keep it too close with everybody. They just always keep it too close to everybody. Doesn't matter what the opponent is. I mean, doesn't matter how good the opponent is, because they can go toe to toe with a really good team and cover a spread, or they can lose against the Lions. So it's very difficult to bet the Vikings with -4. I think that's just a little too much. If maybe it was -2 or 3, I could see them, winning by a field goal, because that's pretty much, they're really just there in a field goal game in most of their games. But that's why I couldn't trust the -4. I think that's a little too much, a little too many points for a divisional game. So if you want to check out some over and unders, got 5 over and unders for you. I got Denver under Denver the Denver Broncos and Cincinnati Bengals game under 43.5 points. Like I said, I think Denver defense is playing really well, so I think they'll be able to keep the scoring to a minimum. On the Bengals side, and then Teddy Bridgewater and his offense doesn't really score that many points either. So I definitely like the under in that game. Falcons versus Niners, I will also take the under because I don't think Matt Ryan can score a lot of points. 49ers have a pretty good defense. I think they can limit their scoring. And I don't think the Niners have this high power offense where they're going to score a ton of points. So I like the under 46 in that one. Jets and Dolphins. Now you would think these two crappy teams. Well, I mean, Dolphins have been playing a lot better lately. They've been an incredible win streak, but they're not blowing out teams or scoring tons of points. And the Jets, they're just bad. So you wouldn't think to take the over, but I am going to take the over. I'm going to take the over 42 because I don't trust their defenses. I think Tua has been playing a lot better. I think he scored a lot of points. I think the Jets, I think Zach Wilson can score some points. So yeah, I'll take the over. I think this is a tough divisional matchup, and that's why I think that they're gonna be kind of going at each other in this one. Also in the Cowboys-Giants game, I'll take the under 44.5 because Dak hasn't been playing well. Didn't play well last week. Hasn't been playing well recently. And our running back is hurt. We don't know if Tony Pollard is going to play. We don't know how healthy Zeke is. I think our offense might struggle a little bit like it did last week. We kicked a lot of field goals. We probably will kick a lot of field goals in this game. But the Giants certainly aren't going to score any points on our defense. And we're going to turn the ball over a lot on them. So if neither team is scoring that much, then I like the under in this one. And so I'll take the under 44.5. The last one I got for you is Eagles versus Washington. I'll take the over 44. Again, another divisional matchup. I like these two teams get after each other and to put up some points on each other. Yes, Heineke or whoever's going to start with Washington, they were still able to score in the Cowboys game. So I think they're still capable of scoring some big points. And Jalen Hurts can score points himself. So I think they're going to in this tough divisional matchup. I like for a lot of points to be scored, and that's what I'll take. I'll take the over 44. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's all my picks for this week. You can find all these picks and all the rest of the information I got in my articles on letsgetreadynetwork.com. You can follow me at NFL Caleb 22 on Twitter and all the rest of social media. And yeah, that's it. Let's make some money, guys. I'll see you next week.